Okay, we're not going to have any music today, so I'm just going to ask you to put your cell phones or whatever, take out your earbuds, and you'll open the Word and share a prayer and then come on. So I'll do that this time. Let us pray. Lord, you give us so many ways to see how we can be. So many things in nature. One of them is a tree. You say, the person who trusts in the Lord is like a tree planted by the waters, who will grow strong and fruits will go forth and feed people everywhere. We ask you to help us to be that tree, to stand close to that water of truth, to let that flow into us, around us, that we might grow in your name and stand tall in our lives. Amen. And at this time, I'd like to invite Luke to come on up. Can we give Luke a big hand? Woo!
Hello, everybody. Thank you. I just want to thank Thane and Grant and all of you for just allowing me the opportunity to share a little bit and I guess to be a little bit more open, authentic, and vulnerable in my last few weeks of college here. What I want to talk about essentially is the life of a tree. And really the sort of big message for me and the big learning moment for me is in having a perspective change in life. When I sort of think about a tree, and many of you may think about a tree, it's, if you look outside, it's got some beauty to it, maybe not right now. Spring comes, fall comes, you see a little bit of beauty. You see trees grow tall, we see little saplings. But there's sort of this two interesting parts for me to look at a tree, or two different perspectives to look at a tree. One, we see this nice thing, and it's there, and it grows, and there's plenty of forests around here, and they're great, and we know it provides us oxygen, and we may forget about them. Another perspective to look at a tree is how it actually grows. I am stealing this a little bit from a talk that I heard, or this idea from a talk I heard a few months ago, who I believe the man who spoke is actually talking next week here at college, which is great. And that's this idea of stress wood. If anyone has heard about stress wood, that is what happens when a tree is growing. So how they sort of found out about stress wood was a bunch of scientists created this sort of enclosure where they had sort of a controlled nature group, and they were going to watch everything grow and flourish and do their tests. And interestingly, what they found was that trees would sprout up and fall over. No tree actually was able to grow. And that's because trees grow due to stress wood. Stress wood is any natural stressors in a tree's life. Wind, rain, sleet, snow, animals. Anything that puts stress on a tree. And what is happening is when stress is put on this tree, the tree kind of fights back. It grows its roots deeper down. It creates a better foundation for itself. And I think that's so relatable to our own lives. For me personally, over the past 5 to 7 years, I have gone through a ton of stressors, as many of you all have too. For me, some of the bigger moments in my life were very big deaths for mentors I've had, a heartbreaking loss of a relationship, and then just confusion, depression, fear of what I'm going to do in college. I've actually transferred 4 times, been to 3 colleges. Luckily, I'm finally finishing up here, year 5 at Bryn Athyn College. And through all of these things, through the sort of state of fear, of loss, of depression, of sadness, through the heartbreak, through the confusion and fear of where I'm going in my own life, I think it's something that we all, on different levels, have experienced. everyone in their own way, everyone in their own situation. And how I've sort of dealt with that in the past is really just completely internalized it, not shared it, held it in, and like a tree, I really believe just fell over. Whether that is in some sort of sadness, whether that is in breaking down, whether that is in bottling it up. And it wasn't until I met a few newer mentors and moved around a little bit and had different college experiences that I was able to form a different perspective on my own tree, on my own life. And I started to understand and look back at these negative, what I thought was really negative situations, and started to view them not as terrible moments to dwell on in my life, but pieces of growth, but areas where I could grow. When I went through the death, I learned how to become more loving and kind, to realize that when I wanted love, I could just give it. When I went through heartbreak and loss, realizing that this is simply an experience that will help my next relationship. And it's letting me learn who I am, and how I interact, and how I connect. And through this confusion of college and where, what's the job going to be, what's the future going to hold, has allowed me to step back and just let whatever be, and try different things, and push myself in different areas that allow me to be who I really am. And how I really see moving forward, and again, this big message is to not, when we go through really hard stuff, we're going to go through really hard stuff. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to allow that to be sad, but to not dwell on it, to not really internalize that it's who we are, because it's not. And to have that perspective change, allow yourself to be open, vulnerable, authentic to who you really are, and to understand that these moments are just going to allow you to grow, flourish, to mold who you really are, to make this tree grow and be beautiful, as all these trees are out here. And I think that's what really helps us, this stressful, this perspective change helps us really shine and allow us to come into that space of who we really can be. So that's sort of my message, and I'm very excited to share this next piece with everyone. I sat down with Bryan and Jake, and I know Bryan's been working on a lot of poetry, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard some of his stuff and Jake's music. And through some of these bad experiences, I've actually written a lot of poetry, but I've never performed it because I internalized it and didn't think that anyone else would like it. So, we don't want to do that. So, we're putting a little bit more stress on today, and we're all going to perform this spoken word piece. So, I hope you enjoy, and thank you all for being here, and whether you have to or you don't, find something in it that you could draw from, or enjoy it, be entertained, or don't like it, and come talk to us afterwards and let us know. So, without further ado, we'll have Jake and Bryan come up, and we'll see what happens.
A dark moon that looms is no friend of mine. Out in the cold winds, the sky is lifeless gray with no particular color. A humor of hues with no single word to utter. A tree lives with no leaves to bother. The light overhead is from the moon above, lonely and afraid. After all lights turn down, dims. A moon that only takes and does not break can be seen from the forsaken lake. While the trees shake in the lonesome breeze, the clouds arrive just to take it all for ease. After all lights dim, afraid of it all. Afraid of it all, seeing the horror, starts to jog straight, just to notice a path curving back to where they first began, in front of a massive tree in a dew-filled grass. The naked tree, abused, cold, darkened, seemed to glow, but it was just the imagination to lessen the blow. That dark moon still loomed, foreshadowing doom. As they looked up, it showed. The remaining leaves were slowly withering away. With one short breath, they viewed the tree from down below their knees and wished it was them. A leaf fell down in front of their very eyes. They looked at it and realized it was real, the glow. They picked it up. With dry, empty tears, they felt the power. Life, the tree. They looked back up. They looked back down. That darkness the moon shone with its light was not as bright. That massive tree, like a mirage, seemed to just go in the blink of an eye. The moon that battled the clouds, that clouded the sky view, shaped of the sun, turned and gone, became anew. Eyes clear, saw the passing of others, yet unpassed, unmoved from the position, looked down at the leaf at hand. Questions arose, no answers to be heard. Anger grew, and did not stop for the positive few. Anger, angry and pissed, filled with wrath. Angry and pissed, rage, they ripped the leaf and screamed. The world they see is what is created. They take a knee and cry. The leaf that glowed was no longer. Picking the pieces and now sinking low was hard to gather. Like a mirage, the tree reappears. Looking up with rage, tries to cut down, burns the remains, blaming it all for their own destruction. Screaming at an unhearable tune, proceeds to commit the deed. And moon, a dark moon that looms is no friend of mine, out in the cold winds, alone and fearful. The light overhead is from the moon above. No leaves or life, just sad darkness.
Change, bring a new life. Seed planted, everybody live in grief, and I just want a living leaf. Roots deep down, everybody changes. Process, journey, nonsense, hurry, slow it down. Breathe, meditate on the old, breathe in the new. This is the tree of life. Everybody grieves, everybody strifes, everybody breathes. Come on, new life, you are with me. God's thinking long-term journey. His vision is ours, but no need to worry. Listen, feel your own breath, not like the rest, not flowing as one, not afraid, not the rest. I need to repress your hatred and doubt. Man, what's this all about? This sun shines down on you and me, for we are here, shaded by this tree. Leaves are done, not the only one. Breathing clear, planted seed, new life, need a friend. Listen to the beat, where your feet stand. When we're thinking we're wrong, but this is the process, man. If we perceive what we don't need in our own brains, if we really mean what we want to mean in these 2 grains, plan another life, pull out your strife. These roots are yours for the growing. Those leaves are yours for the knowing. Take the time to search the roots. Take the time to learn your buttes. Help me breathe. Your own process. This is your leaf. This is your life. Plant it, water it, nourish it, believe in it. Because we're here. Here we are. One together. Going far. And look back, man, like dreams in God, spiritually and emotionally got me. Found dead and now they rot me. Freedom is in your own mind, leaves in my time. It's really changing like the waves and the wind. And back when I really thought I had sinned, look, I'm good. I've got the peace lifted. I'm
feeling really nice and sifted. Searching the leaves for new life it is planted. Growth is coming. My God, He is granted.